Hello, everyone. We're here through the Players Eye podcast presented by US Sports Agency. And today we have the pleasure to have Mathieu Beuvain with me.
Hi, how you doing, Kata?
I'm doing good. What about you?
Pretty good. This morning I had class, just a normal day in college, I would say.
Yeah? So tell to the people, introduce yourself. Who's Mathieu Beuvain?
So my name is Mathieu Beuvain. I'm from France. I was actually born in Belgium. I moved to France when I was like 3 years old, and then I started playing soccer really young. I'm from the south of France, so like for the people who know Nice. So yeah, the south of France. It's pretty nice, pretty sunny, and I played all my life football, and now I'm here in the USA playing for ENMU, which is kind of a dream because I can like combine studies and soccer, football for people,
Yeah,
for European people,
for
I
the
would say.
European people.
Yeah, and so yeah, it's pretty nice here in the US. I like it so far.
So, I never been to Cannes. I actually have to make that
Yeah,
trip.
you should.
You came to my place. Now it's my time to go to your place. You have to show me around. So let's recapitulate back. So tell us more your career as a player. Where did you start playing? What was your first club?
My first club was, wow, I remember back in the days. That was like the local club next to my parents' house. So like it's called Les Baous,
Mm-hmm.
which is like just a mountain. That's like the name of the club is like made out of the mountain. I don't know, and so it's like really local. Not too many teams. Like I started playing when I was playing there when I was like I think 4 years old, like under five or something. But like like it reminds me a lot of things. And like the stadium was really bad, like the turf really bad. But so yeah, I started there like really young, and with my brother as well, which was like 1 year older. So it was pretty nice. Like we were always like training together, and like at this age, we have so much energy that's like we cannot stop playing. So that was the nice thing when I was younger, and like especially like in the south of France, weather is always good, like usually. So
In winter is okay.
winter is pretty good as well. Like it stays
Yeah.
pretty warm, and like there's like one period where like it rains a lot. Like I'd say from like I don't know, March, April, it's pretty rainy, but like the rest of the year, it's really nice. So, like that was a nice part about growing up there. I would say is that like weather is always good, and you'll always be able to play.
So until what age did you play for that club?
I played and like when I was, I think 11 or 12. So, my like younger, my brother was always better than me. I would like
Also left back.
nah right, center back, right back. I would say.
Okay.
So like he was always better than me, kind of, but like I was, he was like more talented, I would say, but I was giving more efforts, and that's like in general was my brother. He's always been more talented than me, like in kind of every field, but like I always gave more effort, and but and like I grew like a kind of a competition with him about that, and like yeah, when he was I think 13, he got recruited by Cannes.
Okay.
Recruited like like as a young player he got like a coach talked to my dad about him, and like he probably went there on tryouts and did good.
Did good
So
and got
like
signed.
yeah, exactly, he signed like for under 14, under 15, or like maybe younger, I don't know. And and so I had to follow him, kind of.
Because you know the big brother, right? He
Exactly.
has to bring the small brother
And
with
like
him.
because we are 1 year apart, so like he like we had to move together, and especially for my parents it was easier. And so yeah, around under 13s, I would say I moved. I started playing for Cannes, which was like 40, 45 minutes away from my parents' house. So it's like it was already like a big move for me and my brother and my parents. And yeah, I played at Cannes until under 17th. No, under 18th. Yeah.
So
But
you pl-
I was like at under 18th, I was playing with the under 19th. So like it was kind of mixed.
so you were always playing kind of like 2 years up.
No, not really. Like when I first got there, like my first year was up, I think like under 13th, and like I wasn't good back then. Like
Hmm.
we're because under 13th, it's I think it was 8v8 in France on like half field. So, and I wasn't the greatest player technically. I was giving a lot of efforts as I did all my life, kind of, and like to me the big change was like when we passed to the big field, so under 15s I think. So like 2 years later, I went to Cannes, and like on the bigger field, I would be able to like give more efforts, and like that showed a lot in my game. So like I started being better, and like the coaches were like, I think like from under 15 to under 16, 17, I was captain of the team, and like I was showing a lot, you know. So and I was one of the best player on the field in my opinion.
Of course, you have to
Yeah,
be humble.
as like back in France, I was playing center back. We Even though I wasn't that tall, but like I was pretty good back then, and yeah, like on the big field it changed a lot for me.
So you kind of follow your brother's steps, and you said your
Yeah.
brother was always better than you,
Yeah,
but you kind of had this progression of like putting hard work in
Yeah,
and
exactly.
kind of being effort. So how was the transition between the local club, every single player plays at the local town, to that kind of like bigger club, it's a pretty known club, big players like Zinedine Zidane played over there.
Zidane, Vieira, a lot of good players went through there, but like this transition was because like it was my last year of middle school, I think, that I moved to. So I played 2 years for Cannes, and then my dad he was driving me every day, so it was hard for him. And so when I was under 15, I think, like my dad decided to like rent an apartment, buy an apartment in Cannes for me and my brother, so we could do like, and Cannes back then had the what we call in France sport études, which is like
Okay.
basically like studies and sports. So like you have more training than usual people. You have like every the studies are combined with the soccer basically, and like
So it's most focused on the athletes
yes, more than a normal
than a normal school.
normal school, I would say. And like in the class we had all the soccer players, so you know how it is.
Exactly.
Those soccer players, they are really crazy, and like the class was really fun. I remember in like first year of high school, it was pretty nice. Like yeah, it was really funny, and I mean most of the guys didn't pass, but I did, and
Especially in those environments, in those high school, like as a soccer player, you kind of get away with a lot of stuff. Like let's say
Yeah.
you have a training,
exactly
something like that, and you have a class, and you say, I don't have to go to the class because I got
Yeah.
trained.
Mhm.
So
And
that's
like
kind of
we
nice.
we are the favorites of the teachers because we're athletes, and
Exactly.
like all the teachers that we had were pretty young, and they understood like what we were doing, and they were pretty nice about us. Like I mean, if we don't do big mistakes, like they are pretty nice, and so yeah, like it was a fun time definitely, and like as I said, I started living alone with my brother, like in this apartment next to Ken. It was like I don't know, 2 minutes away walking from my high school, which was the best because like I had class at 8. I was waking up at 7:50, and just walking to class,
And just
and
go
that
there.
was actually the best thing. And so yeah, those I lived 3 years in this apartment with my brother. Those were the 3 best years of my life. Just
Right.
living like the weekends. I was going home to see my parents, and like all the rest of the week, even though I was like 15, well, I think I started at 40, like from 14 to 17. I was like, I had to do everything on my own with my brother.
Did you know
Like,
how to cook back then?
I learned how to kind of. And my brother was like, he was 1 year older than me, and like, he knew some shit, and like, we were pretty serious about the apartment because we knew it was like a chance to have it. And so like, we were doing good. Like, we weren't throwing parties every weekend. Like, definitely not. Like, we were a pretty chill apartment, and like, I
Just
loved
focus on the studies and on the soccer.
exactly, like it was pretty nice, and like we were also young, so like it was pretty chill, I would say. But like those were like the best years of my life. I remember like my brother was like playing a lot of FIFA. He was better than me at FIFA. So like every Friday morning before class, we had I think like 1 year, like 2 years in a row, we had both class at 9 on Fridays, and like the well like we were playing like foot champions during the weekends, and like then home at my parents' house, Like he was playing most of it, and I was losing all the games, you know. But so like every Friday morning we had the packs that we were getting from the free champs, and I remember those Friday mornings. I remember were pretty nice because like there was always this excitement about like waking up, open the packs, and then you go to class. You know,
Exactly.
it was pretty nice. And so yeah, those 3 years of my life were really nice.
So you said that you kind of moved and from going home to that place alone, and that's kind of your first experience by moving by yourself. And you know, as a teenager, even at 18 is a big move to move by yourself, but at 14 it's even a bigger step. But since you're telling me like kind of excited you more than being more scared about it.
Yes, because like the first times, like the first few weeks, months, let's say, were a little bit strange, I would say. Like I wouldn't say I was feeling lonely or anything. Like I was really happy back then, and but it was a little bit strange, I would say, because like your parents are not there anymore. Like if whatever happens, like whatever could have happened, like the only way I could get to my parents, like we were like 45 minutes away. It's not crazy, but like if whatever, like I don't know, something breaks,
So you
like
had
I
mature
have to
quick.
deal that on my own, you know.
You have to be more mature
Exactly.
quicker and grow up quicker.
Yeah.
Okay, that's really nice.
But
And
yeah, it was definitely a great time. Like,
so
as I remember.
at under 18s, you finish your stage at Cairns, and that you came to Oklahoma.
Yeah.
How was that? The position of like, did you know something about the United States, about college soccer? How was that transition for you coming to here, and what did you know? First of all, what did you know about the US?
First, I want to talk about how I decided kind of to go there, because that was like I was a pretty good student. Like I got like for French people my baccalaureate. I had 14 out of 20, so which was pretty good,
That's
you know.
a good number.
Yeah, like I think 14.5 or something, and and during that season I was playing, like I was training with the under 19s national, which was a really good level in France, and playing with the under 18s, like I think regional one. I think that was it, and so like in the under 19s team, there was a guy who went to the US, and like I was actually interested in that because I was a great student and a pretty good player as well. So and in France, if I had to combine soccer and football,
You have to decide.
like I have to design kind of, or I have to do like really bad studies to keep to have some time
to be able to play.
to be able to play, and so that was like a decision I wouldn't have liked to make. So I heard about that guy going to the United States, and I went to ask him questions, and like so he came with an agency. He went to do some like tryouts for like, to show like his talent kind of to the agency, and I asked him so many questions, and he told me, like he explained me well. So like that was great because I heard from a guy that explained me a lot, and but like I didn't know where I was going, you know, still. So like I did all the steps to go through the tryouts for the agency, and then they told me, yeah, you're talented enough to go, and you. So basically, like they told me you're gonna have to pay a certain amount. They explained me well. You have to pay this amount, then you do your visa, and then we present you to the coaches, and so like I didn't have too many offers because like back then they were like all the games that I was playing,
COVID restrictions
also,
as well.
also COVID restrictions, and like the coaches weren't recruiting that much, I would say. But like I didn't have any footage video, you know, and like the only stuff I had was me playing at training, maybe like my dad recording on the side for
With
like
the phone like sideways.
exactly, like he was like this on the phone,
Exactly.
behind the net, you know, so like even
With the net
even
in
worse.
the middle, you cannot see anything.
It was crazy.
The worst highlights possible.
And like I feel like that's a good thing about now. Like even I mean I don't know about the rest of the world, but even in France, like most games are recorded, and like even the younger players have some video footage, so which is really good. And back then I had basically nothing. So like the few offers that I got were a few JUCOs, I think, and I had two like NAIs, I think. So like I had to decide between like, and back then I was a little scared that if I went JUCO, then I would only get 2 years, and after 2 years I would have to decide whatever I do, and I was scared about that. And even my dad, my dad told me, yeah, like just go for a school of 4 years, and so at least if you don't do great, you have those 4 years that you can stay there.
Because especially it's a lot of uncertainty for the parents, because
Exactly.
they don't understand what a JUCO is, that you can get your associated classes and after that go to a 4-year school, and it's totally normal. But for the parents, if you can say, okay, I'm gonna go to a 4-year school, it's kind of like safe going
Yeah,
there.
exactly. And I knew nothing about anything back then. ChatGPT wasn't existing, so like I couldn't. I couldn't ask anyone, and like the few I could ask weren't people like that knew about it. And like even the guy that talked to me, he just went for a year, so I didn't want to ask him because he was already there for a year and didn't know him that much. So I didn't know much, so I ended up choosing out of the few schools that I had, Oklahoma Panhandle, which was definitely a good experience for me, but which was special, I would say, special experience.
So
And I got lucky about it, I would say.
So for everyone that doesn't know, me and Mathieu, we started together in Oklahoma, Panhandle State, a really small school in the Panhandle, as the name says it. 4 years ago, actually, that's where we met. And I know how I felt, and I think you can relate to this because we were pretty together at the same time, pretty close. What was the first week for you in Oklahoma, like the change of south of France to Oklahoma?
It was so weird and exciting at the same time, because I'm a Frenchman. I wasn't speaking a word of English back then. Like for the people who know, I had to take the TOEFL test, which you need 60 to go in. Like it's 60, like it's out of 120, and you needed 60 to go to US. I got 61, luckily.
The limit.
The limit. And so like not too, like a few words of English I was understanding a little bit, but speaking was basically nothing. And I wasn't great in languages at school, so even worse. But like, yeah, definitely the change from like a safe place in France where I knew a lot of people, where I had a lot of friends, a lot of family, to going where I knew nobody was definitely like a really strange moment in my life, but like also exciting at the same time, because you get out of your comfort place, and it's pretty nice.
And that makes you improve, right?
And that makes you like change and improve, I guess. And like learning is like the best thing in this world. So like I learned so much in those, like at least those few months, the few first months. And so like when I got there, I met Kata. I met a few guys that were like a German guy. Like my closest friends were Kata, a German guy that was speaking perfect English.
These German guys, they get with the perfect English before
those Germans, I don't know.
I don't know how they do it, but they get here with the perfect English.
It's crazy. An English guy that had a big accent, and like I wasn't even able to like recognize accent back then,
Everything sounded the same,
Exactly.
Like different,
it's
but
crazy.
Like, they all speak English.
And now I hear him talk, and I'm like, damn, man, like how did I understand you back then? It's crazy.
Exactly.
And another Spanish guy, Alberto Duque.
Shout out to Alberto.
Shout out to Alberto.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it was definitely a great time, and like that's how I learned English, basically, like because I was there, and like I had to speak. Like at one point, like if I wanted to express myself, I couldn't like speak like sign language. I had to speak English, and I feel like like we both learned so fast, and like out like from nothing. Like the first few weeks were strange and like wild for everyone.
Different, definitely.
But like, and I feel like soccer, like if you're like a player that's coming to the US, and you're like scared to speak English or whatever, like if you're okay at soccer and like people see that you're a fun guy and like you can play soccer a little bit, like people are gonna be friends with you, you know. Like soccer is an international language. Like if you see that someone is good, you're gonna make a joke and like you're gonna understand it.
So you think like for you to be able to learn English that quick, you know, because you say it was a process of like a month, two, for you to get used to and more comfortable, of course. Do you think like being part of the soccer team, of the football team, that helped you?
So much, like, because on the field you make friends. It's like you don't have to talk to make friends, kind of. And
Ball doesn't lie, no?
ball never lies. And like there was also a few Frenchmen in the team. So but they were way older. So like they weren't my close friends, and I kind of didn't want them to be my close friends because like I wanted to like discover something new, you know, other people like from other cultures, and that was the nice thing about Oklahoma Panel. There was so many internationals from everywhere. Like I remember, I mean, I couldn't tell you all the countries that people were coming from, but UK, Germany, Spanish, like even so many South Americans,
South Africa as well.
South Africa, so many. So like that was the nice part about it. Like everybody was playing soccer, enjoying soccer, and like our language was football.
Yeah,
And that was the
football.
really nice thing about it. And this first year, like I've been like I played the few first weeks, like first month, maybe month and a half, and then I got injured, which was like really I was really sad about it and really mad, because I would have loved to play, and but that was a really bad. I mean, that's a bad thing about me in general. I get injured too easily.
But was that your first time that you got injured, or like did you used to get injured back in France?
No, like that was probably the longest injury I had, kind of. But I mean, I was sometimes injured in France as well. But like since the season in the US is so short, like intense and short, I would say it's a bad thing to get injured. And like I wasn't the guy that was like that would play over his injury and all of this. So like I was injured and I couldn't like, and even if I wanted to play, I think I couldn't have played because my
You
ankle
couldn't
was hurting
push.
so
You
much.
couldn't push
Yeah,
through it.
and like I was taping all day, and nah, it was just not going, you know. And that was like thankfully of those first few weeks I made close friends, and so like they could support me into my injury and into like not playing. And like I was still being with the team, so I was okay, you know. Like I mean, yeah, I know you were injured a little bit, like we were on the side sometimes
That's how you and me
together.
got together.
Yeah,
because,
exactly.
You know, we
Like,
spend so much time on the trainers that
yeah,
you kinda become friends with the people that you spend the most time
exactly.
with. So
And that was I mean, thankfully, I'm sorry, but thankfully you were there.
thankfully we were there, you know. It was easier for both, you know, because
No, for
being
sure.
both injured, we kind of supported each other. No,
Yeah.
but so there's one moment that I want to highlight, and that you know,
You
it
told
makes
me about that, yeah.
I told you about that, you know, before coming here. And, you know, you didn't play that whole season. Like, you played
Yeah.
that month and a half. And that whole season you didn't play. And I remember the last game of the conference against, it was the number one in the country, Mathieu.
Mathieu.
You step in and you played.
Yeah.
You played like for 10, 15 minutes, like with
Yeah.
no, you were kind of recovering, right?
Yeah, like I played. I got in on the 80th minute, I think, but we played overtime that game.
All right, because
So-
it was still overtime
Yeah.
back then in college
Yeah.
soccer.
Yeah. So that was a nice thing. And I mean, I know what you want to talk about. So when I came in and I kicked like somebody really hard, and there was not even a foul, I think.
I don't think the referee called a fault.
No.
So that was my main thing. I was like, you know, for someone that comes, you know, when you come back from an injury, you sometimes like really scared because, you know, you don't want to push it.
Yeah.
And seeing that first action, first minutes back in, and actually going for like a super hard tackle, and, you know, you left the other players. I thought the
yeah.
other player was
He
injured.
he
you
was
know?
on the ground, and I think he got subbed out. Yeah.
You got so that.
Yeah.
No, that's an unbelievable moment, you know. So after that, we make it
Man,
into
that
the
Mathieu game.
conference tournament.
Yeah.
And we played against Southwestern Christian University. That was the quarterfinals of the conference.
Yeah.
It was a pretty hard game, you know, and overtime goes, and we go to penalties. And in that moment, like no one kind of wanted to take the first penalty.
Yeah.
I don't remember pretty good, but I remember you step up and you took
Yeah.
the penalty.
I was.
Can
I
you
was
walk me
furious.
through it and tell me like how was the experience? Because for a player that never played,
Uh,
like didn't play any single game during the season, to step up, take the first penalty in
that
a
was
really important
that
game.
was really fearless, I would say. But I don't know how many minutes I played in this game. I don't think I played everything. But like we also went to overtime, so I think I got in like around the 60th minute and until 120 then. So I
Yeah.
played like 60 minutes, and like after coming back from injury, like I was really not fit, but I was still making the runs. Like that was one of the only games I played this season. I was like, nah, I gotta do good, man. And so I played an okay game so far, and like we go to penalties, and I see like nobody like really stepping out to like, yeah, I want to shoot.
Especially the
There
older
was
guys,
there was
because
a
there were a
few.
lot of seniors
Yeah.
that they could have
I
say,
know,
okay,
I
I'm
know,
gonna take it.
I know. Ludwig wanted to shoot, Liam wanted to shoot, but like they were all like not totally confident. And I was probably like one of the youngest guy in the team, and I told everyone, yeah, I'm shooting the first penalty. And like, cause I mean, also like sometimes like before the conference tournament, we did a few
We did some
penalty
practices, right?
shootouts, and like we had a great goalkeeper back then, Yuko Dutour, shout
Shout
out.
out to him.
And and I remember the last penalty I shot on him was a Panenka, and you went like everywhere except in the middle,
Except in
and
the
that
middle.
that Panenka was pretty good. So I was really confident, and also like I had no fear. Like I was 17 years old playing for a team that I spent like 4 months with in the US, so I didn't know much, and like I was fearless. And that first penalty, I think I shot him on bottom left, and I don't remember what the keeper did. Maybe we'll have some footage to
Maybe
show
we'll have
you.
some footage to show.
Hopefully
Yeah.
we can
We
find
can
it.
get it back again.
But that was like I was just fearless back then, and like I didn't know what the consequences were. Like if there was consequences, kind of.
For you, it was kind of like normal, I'm gonna
Yeah.
step up, take the penalty,
Just
score
like at
it,
practice.
and that's it.
Yeah, and like I feel like right now, like I'm not that fearless anymore, but like I could do the same. And that's a really nice thing. Like just being to step out and like give everything you have, but like not even imagining the like consequence is a bad word, but like imagining like
The output
the
could
output,
be the
exactly.
bad or the good output.
Yeah, exactly.
So no, that's.
But that was a great moment, yeah. And
uh,
unfortunately, we lost that game. Shout out to Ludwig.
yeah.
On the crossbar, we missed like the fourth penalty, I think, on the crossbar, and yeah.
Definitely, I think I remember that's one of the hardest moments for us, for your first year as well here, and that was pretty unfortunate. But after that, we had a great run. You guys, we had like
it was great.
a good record, and all that stuff. And after that, the fall season is done.
Yeah.
Now you have more experience.
Exactly.
You're already here. You're already learning English. What happened after that in the spring? You decided to transfer to ENMU that you're currently here right now.
Yeah, so basically, like for me, it was really hard to transfer, because like obviously I played like 3-4 games in the season and not even like the full games, so I didn't have much highlights. But during that spring, so like I stayed like the fall and the spring at OPSU, and during the spring, I Brandon Misuraka, my old coach at OPSU, like transferred. I got the job offer from for ENMU, which was a D2 school, a place a little bigger than the OPSU, a little bit more people, even though it's still really small, but like it was still a better place. And I mean, if there was a guy that knew that I was kind of talented and that I could do great here, was Brandon Misuraka, because he saw me at practices and he saw the few games that I played, but like I mean, when you see a good player, you recognize it, And so like me and Loris Giassipi, we Brandon came to talk to us, and he was like, I mean, like I gotta build the whole team over there. I want to build a team around you guys, and so he offered us a great offer. We didn't have to pay much at school, and like we already like visited here, so we had we found jobs already even before coming, so that was really nice about it. And Brandon like actually built a great team in that first year, and so we came here for the fall 2022, I think. And yeah, after this, like a lot of internationals again, a lot of Germans, a lot of internationals, and yeah. So we had a great team that first year. A lot of freshmen still. That was really a little bit trouble, but yeah, like we had a great team. It was like a fun team as well.
So you think after after the second year, you finish in the fall again. You guys didn't do too great. Had ups and downs, of course.
Yeah.
How was that big change? Going from NIA almost not playing to go now to step up to NCAA Division Two.
It was a change, definitely. I feel like the level was a little better, even though it was still like not professional, I would say, but like it was a little bit better.
It was better, definitely.
But it wasn't that big of a change, and but like the academic and like athlete life at ENMU was such a big change compared to OPSU. Like I feel like academically, ENMU is great. Like a lot of great teachers, and like there's not too many students, so like teachers have time for like the few students that they have, and especially for like athletes, like they give a lot of time, like a lot of explanation if like we don't understand and all of this. And so like I was able to like play during the season, play pre-season, and have a job at the same time and do my studies at the same time, so that was really great.
So tell me, how would your day look like? Combining those three stuff, because for people that's gonna hear us from Europe, from all of these countries, that is not the US. They cannot imagine like coming here to the United States and be able, like, first of all, to play soccer at a pretty good high level, to do the degree at the same time, and even get a job. Like for that, even for me, and I think for you was the same. That's unthinkable. Having those times. So how do you think the college system can combine those stuff?
The college system is honestly, like, for athletes, it's made perfectly. Because I'm gonna go through a typical day that I would go through in like for pre-season, for example. Because like in season, look, we have less practices, but like games are like there's 2-3 games a week, so it's really intense. But like for pre-season, I would say, like, let's say the school started and all of this. So like usually we had morning practice, so around 7 a.m. you gotta be at the field. The morning practice is usually like just getting some touches in, working on like technical stuff, but like not too intense. Then like it would be done around like 9, like 8:30, 9, an hour 30 practice is
Early
really
practices,
chill.
right?
Yeah, early practices. And like after that you go to class, you have like, I don't know, 2-3 classes a day. You start at 9, you finish around like 1, 2, and while eating, like you had an hour break or something. And then the second practice was around like, I don't know, 5:30, something like that. So like whenever you're done with class around 2, you have time to take a nap, do some homework. I don't know how was it, but take a nap. And then like around 4:35, like 30 minutes, an hour before practice, you go to the trainers. Usually like the trainers are like physiotherapists, like they help you recover, like prepare for the practice. Like you can do like you can bike, you can get tape, whatever what can you do in the trainers, like
whatever you need,
yeah,
just
exactly.
get ready
Get your ankles
for the
ready,
training, get your body pretty much ready to play and
yeah,
train.
exactly. And like, so basically you do that for an hour, and the second practice is a little more physical, I would say. So like it's a classic, but it's still a classic practice, like I don't know, some passing patterns, possession, and then some game. I'm not a coach, I don't know much about
drills.
practices, but some drills, but like definitely like keeping the practice around like the like it was still fun, you know.
Have the ball involved at all the time, right?
Ball involved, really fun, and the team that loses, obviously, some physics at the end, like
Some push-ups.
so you do some push-ups, some
sit-ups.
abs, some sprints. But that was really fun, actually. Like, I mean, like, fun for the winners, especially.
Not for the losers.
Exactly. And then after that, after the practice, which is done like around 7, you can go again to the trainers to do an ice bath, get some massage in, and yeah, that's basically a day that I would go through. And then you sometimes we had dinner together, like with the whole team, like either at the cafeteria or like we go to a local restaurant, like with the team. It was, I mean, like a great time, you know.
It's definitely nice to be in that environment. And
Yeah,
now,
definitely.
touching a little bit more into the football side and going a little bit deeper, what do you think is like the biggest difference in terms of just football between France and college soccer?
That's an interesting question, because back in France, like I'm gonna start with that. Back in France, I was a center back. I'm 5'11", let's say 6 foot.
Let's say 6 foot for the
Let's
record.
say, let's say 6 foot for record. So I was not a tall center back that win every header. I'm more like a build-up guy, and so whenever I came to the US, I got put left back because I'm not tall enough, you know.
And here in the US, it's so much about like
It's
the size.
it's more physical.
It's more physical, right?
Yeah, like center backs and like players in general. Like coaches love players that are tall, you know, and so that was a big move for me. Like from moving from center back to left back, even though I played a little bit left back in France, but it was a big change definitely. And so yeah, like here in the United States, the game is more physical and more direct. Those are the two words that we use. A little bit less tactical. Like here, like coaches have an idea of soccer that is different than in France, and winning game like here, like in the United States, coaches are employed by the school, and they have to win. Like it's a like as my old coach used to say, it's a business, you know. Like you gotta win games.
It doesn't matter how the style.
Doesn't matter how.
The record is the only thing that shows on paper. You know?
Exactly, and like what people see is the record. So like how many games you won, how many games you lost, how many goals you conceded. They are not gonna look at the possession, the amount of passes you did. They are gonna look at the score first. So that was a big change, because like back in France, like whenever I was playing like under 18 or something like that, it was still about winning and all of this, but like at least personally, I was not the happiest guy if we won, but like we didn't deserve to win. Like I was still happy because we won, but like that was a big change. Like here, however you won, it was great to win, and that's a big thing. A big thing about the United States is it's all about winning or not winning. So that was the biggest change, I think, like between France and the United States.
I agree with that a lot, and I can relate definitely.
Yeah.
So now you spend 3 years already in college soccer, going back in time, and it comes the summertime. First summer, you went back to France. Tell us, like, first of all, explain to the people what is summer league.
So summer league is like there's three leagues, I think, for summer league: UPSL, NPSL, and USL2. So those 3 leagues recruit usually college players that don't have to do anything during the summer. They usually offer housing plus food, and they recruit those players to play for their club. So it's not a school anymore; it's a club that play during the summer. So USL2 is kind of the 4th division, soon 5th, but like 4th division. So there's USL2, which is a summer league. It starts around like beginning of May and ends like before the preseason of university, like let's say like at the end of July, beginning of August. So this period of time is like it's for summer league, and so there's those 3 leagues that play. 3 different levels. I don't know. I only played USL2, but like USL2 is a pretty good level, I would say. Compared to like D2 university, it's like pretty much the same, but there's better players, I feel like, in summer league, because like all the D1 player play summer league as well. So it's way more chill about soccer. Like you have a little bit less practices, even though it's still really serious. But like the coaches understand way more the fun about summer league than in university. Like it's not as much as a business as college soccer.
So since all the players there, they kind of want to play over there, they kind of decide to be in the summer and have this extra time because, you can be off. It's not like during the university that they have like the scholarship. So do you think that affects, like as you said, that is a better level because the players, they play with less pressure?
They probably play with less pressure, and like as we said, like it's an option. You don't have to do it. So like all of them want to be here. Like if they are here, that means like they want to play for the club they are at, and they want to hopefully win with that club. They're gonna do everything to win with that club. So, and it's an option. So like they're gonna give everything, like to improve themselves, and so they can like improve and play at a better level in the future.
And do you think playing USL2 or Summer League or any other division that is in the summer can help you take that step to the professional level after?
Yeah, definitely. Like I guess, and from what I've seen, like a lot of USL1, USL Championship coaches look at Summer League so they can recruit players, and like they can follow their path like through university as well. Like usually like they see them at Summer League and they're gonna be like, oh, okay, what's his name? Like where does he play at school? Okay, let me follow along that school like during the college season.
So for our American audience, there's a player that he played in college for Creighton University, and Duncan Maguire, and now he plays for Orlando FC.
Yeah.
You played your first summer league for Lane United in Oregon, and he kind of took that path.
I think he played 2 years at Lane United, and I played my first summer league over there. Yeah.
So after kind of the year after he left, you kind of joined the club.
Yeah. So that was basically it, and so I think he was a player of the year. Like he got the award player of the year in D1 college soccer, which is like one out of I don't know how many college players, thousands
of players.
So he was definitely a great player, but like he played 2 years in USL2 at Lane United, like the club that I was playing for, and so like he was human, and like I went kind of in the same steps as him, I would say. But I mean, not the same ones, but like he was at that club and I was at that club. So like that shows that USL2 is still a great level. And now I think he's playing at Orlando, and he could have transferred to the second league in England or something.
That's what I believe he has. Like was about to transfer to a second division team in England, but it never happened. So now he just went back to Orlando,
which is MLS, and which is really good, I guess.
Still good level.
Yeah, I mean it's MLS and it's pro, and I mean he plays against all the best teams in the MLS. So and I think he's like his first year he's called a lot.
Yeah,
I don't know about this year, but like this first year he's called a lot.
As a rookie, I think he did pretty good.
Yeah.
So tell us, been there, Lane United, in Oregon, new state. This is completely change of scenery. You started in Oklahoma,
so far,
went to New Mexico, and now you're in Oregon. Like, tell me, what is the location? What did you see over there?
So like the United States is a huge place. Like it's like in Europe we cannot even imagine how big the United States is, and like every state has different climate, different.
The weather.
The weather is different. Like everything is different. So like I came from New Mexico, which is the south, to Oregon, which is almost the northwest, as
close to Canada.
Yeah, exactly, close to Canada. But like Oregon was so nice. Like that would be like the place I would definitely live in the US. And like summer league is also like, I mean, it's a great time to play soccer, but it's also a great time to like visit places and like go to places and like visit stuff. Oregon, I loved Oregon because the weather was so nice in the summer. Like summertime is always nice in the United States, but over there was perfect. Like I had the ocean like an hour away, the Pacific Ocean, so I've never seen it, and it was nice. There was also like snow in the mountains, like an hour away, a lot of hikings, and it was definitely like a great time. And during summer league, you basically have like one practices a day during the preseason, and sometimes like coaches. I mean, you know it as well. Like sometimes, like after the game, coaches are like, if you won the game, they're like, I like tomorrow no practice, day off.
Like that's the best thing when the coach says.
Exactly, and like when like at the point that the coach says that, all the guys in the locker room they say, yeah, what you doing tomorrow? Oh, let's go for I don't know, let's go to the beach, let's go to for a hike. I mean, like there, let's go to the swimming pool or whatever, you know.
You definitely had more choices than New Mexico.
A lot of more choices than New Mexico, and like there was like where I was in Lane United, Eugene was such a great city because they had University of Oregon, which has also the biggest track stadium in the United States, and back then like it was the preparation, like I mean like the qualification for the Olympics. So like all the best track athlete in the world
They were over there.
were in Eugene this summer to the qualifications of the Olympics in Paris. So it was such a good time, and like there was I think 2 or 3 weekends in a row the qualifications for the best American athletes to get selected for the United States team, and like I went to watch this, and like and there was so much going on, you know, like all the athletes were in town, all and like University of Oregon is a really big school, so there was always something going on even on weekends. Like I mean the I don't want to talk about it, but the bars, the clubs were always packed. There was a lot of concerts, a lot going on, you know, more than New Mexico. And like the summertime, like all the students are like either taking summer classes or like just chilling, and it's a really nice time to meet people and like have some activities with a lot of people. Also, like a really good thing about Oregon, they had I mean like in the city of Eugene there was a big river, so like whatever like what I did usually like to like after the game when we had the day off, float the river. Like one of the guy from there, he had like little boats, you know, the floaters kind of, and like we used to like drive a car on top of the river and just go down the river for like I don't know, like a few miles, I would say. I don't know, but like you're on the water for 2 hours, you know, but you just chill there, put your legs in the cold water so like you can rest as well, and that was such a nice time.
Definitely sounds like you had a pretty good time, you know.
Yeah, it was definitely a good time.
So now you kind of come back from the summer league over there, go back again to New Mexico, and I'm sure that the location changed, but you go back again for your third year. Can you walk me through like how does that third season for you in college? Now that you have experience of different divisions, you play summer league. Do you go more confident in now this season?
Definitely more confident, and also a really good thing about summer league is it's right, like it ends right before college season, so you're really fit to play college. Like you don't have to go through the struggle of getting fit at your university, and struggling to pass the fitness test or stuff like that. You know, you're already like game fit, and you don't struggle in the like doing sprints, for example, or stuff like that. So it's really nice to be fit and stay fit, and like stay fit by playing soccer. So like I came back from Oregon to New Mexico, see all those friends that were that came back from their summer league or from home that summer, and so yeah, like it was definitely like a good comeback. You're really happy to see all those old friends that you haven't seen for like 3-4 months, and then the season starts again. Like the preseason is like a month. Like there's like, let's say 2 weeks of not playing, then you start the friendly games, and conference starts like I don't know, August, like it's like a little bit after August, I would say.
Yeah, like a couple of weeks into August.
Yeah.
Definitely have like a pretty good 3-4 weeks break.
Exactly, and that's a nice thing. Like you have those 4 weeks to like get back into college, like get to go see your teachers. So like you can like figure out your classes, and then season starts again, and you gotta do your season again.
How was that third season for you?
It was okay. I think I didn't do we didn't do bad. Like we could have definitely do better, and we had a great team. I think like that was the best team I ever had in the United States, like for a college, and yeah, we should have do better for sure. But it was definitely a great season, and a personal season as well.
So personal season. Now that season, tell me that as a team, as a collective,
Mm.
when not too bad, also not too good, was kind of like there in the middle.
Yeah.
Now personally, what do you think it changed for you to kind of have that confidence and to don't get injuries? Because you mentioned
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
the last past years you kind of had a rough time with the injuries. What do you think was the biggest change for you to don't get injured this season and keep playing regularly?
Uh, I think I came back really confident from summer league, because like I haven't like even summer league is pretty intense, and I didn't have any pain all my summer league, so I was like really confident, and I came back here, I was fit, ready to play, and I didn't get injured all season, thanks to probably like staying fit and doing my regular exercise on the side, on my own, I would say. So like I came really confident, and I just kept going from summer league. Like season started, and season is really intense. So you gotta be ready, and like if you get injured, you're really fast, missing like a few games. Definitely, if you get injured for like 2 weeks, you missed 4 games. So it's a big change of being injured or not being injured, and not being injured makes you play definitely more games, and makes you be more confident, like in the general way, like whether it's on the field or like out of the field, you're more confident, you're more happy because you train every day, and you're not missing any practice, and then you're really confident. So that's the really nice part about being healthy, kind of.
Because that's the biggest difference between Europe. Because in Europe, for example, if you miss, let's say you have an injury that takes up 4 weeks. In those 4 weeks, you will miss 4 games,
Exactly.
right? But in the difference here in the United States, if you're injured 4 weeks, you will lose at least 8 to 10 games. Since
Yeah.
you play twice a week.
Mm.
So that's one big difference.
It is a really big difference, and the season, like how many teams are in the conference usually? Like there is like 8 to 10 teams, so that's 9 games, like at most, 9 conference games. If you miss like 4 of them, that's half of
Yeah,
the
right.
season.
You have the season, someone takes
Yeah.
your spot, and after it's so hard to get back
Exactly.
in a short period.
Yeah.
Do you think, like, if college soccer will be played like the European style, let's say it's divided between fall and spring, would that cap more attention for like internationals to come, or even more viewers as well, kind of to make it like basketball? Basketball at the Division 1 level and even lower divisions, it's super
It's-
popular and super famous. Do you
Yeah.
think changing that format will attract more viewers?
I think definitely, yeah, because season would like take more time, but that wouldn't be a bad thing, because like people wouldn't have to come like twice a week to the games, just once a week, like one meeting a week at the stadium. We see your friends, you watch the soccer game. That's pretty nice, and so I think, yeah, like more viewers, and it would be like easier and more competitive for the teams and the players as well, I think.
Definitely. I want to rewind back, going back after that third season, and now going back again into summer league. This time, you definitely changed. You decide to don't come back to Lane United in Oregon.
Yeah.
Now you to decide to go back to kind of like have a new challenge.
Yeah.
And now you go to Kalamazoo in Michigan. Again, kind of traveling all over,
Yeah, yeah.
all over the country. How is that in Michigan? Tell me,
so-
getting first to Kalamazoo.
Kalamazoo was definitely a great time, and I've just finished my third college season in ENMU, and I knew that the coaches of Kalamazoo FC, the summer league, was the assistant coach of Western Michigan, which is a really good D1, and I knew I had one more year, because I was gonna go home for the fall because I had some trouble at home. So like I knew I would have 1 year to play for my masters, and I knew that the coaches from Western Michigan were definitely interested in recruiting players, and so I went this summer in Kalamazoo to show that I was able to play. Like a lot of people told me I had the talent and the the hard working skill to play for D1s, and so I was like, okay, I'm gonna take this summer league as a challenge. If I can show that I'm able to play like first for this summer league and then at the D1 college level, that's my goal. And so I went there to Kalamazoo. I mean, I had my challenge on my own, and and I was gonna play like I was gonna try to work as much as I could and play really good. So I went there. Like the first few practices were really good for me. I'm a player that I can show off. I can I can show that I'm really good and I'm talented. So like from the beginning of the season, I started playing. We were doing 3-5-2, I think, or 3-4-3. So like I was in the back three, the position that I really like as a left center back, and so like I started playing really good, and the the coaches were like appreciating me a lot
They were
because
confident in you.
exactly they were really confident in me because like I'm not a guy that causes trouble. I'm a guy confident on the ball and that can play like good passes and I can do a lot of hard work. So the coaches were really confident in me, and so I started as a center back, and through the season, uh, we went on a four back. As like I played a few games center back, left center back in a four back, and then I ended up playing six. So like that shows that the coaches are confident in my ability to play under pressure and all of this. So it was Kalamazoo was way more of a season, like where I was like showing at soccer than having pleasure outside, kind of. Even though there was still a lot, like I was still going like Lake of Michigan is like an hour away from Kalamazoo, so I was going to the lake. I was partying a few weekends, but it was definitely a great time and a great time about soccer as well.
So you were able kind of to find that perfect combination of having your own time and also like playing pre-competitive level that you said.
Yeah, and it was really competitive. Definitely, there was like the conference. I don't know how the conference is called, but like the conference with Kalamazoo, Flint, Ann Arbor. Those teams. I don't know. Maybe you can show it after, but they are really good teams, and I think we ended up being third of that conference that year. So it was definitely a great season, even though we could have done better because like we had the team. Wow. Like when I was there with a teammate of ENMU, Felix. Uh, like we went there on like the first few practices and we were like, damn, those are good players, Like, and there was a few players, like, I think at the beginning we were like around 30, 32. So like a big team, And a few players like left after like 2-3 weeks because they were like, all right, the team is too good. I'm never gonna play here, and they found another summer league or something like that, And so we had great talents, and we could have done so much. We could have done better that season, I think, because we had so many great players. For example, Donovan Gusto that now plays for NC State, who just got drafted. Like he was our striker. What a guy! What a player!
So now he got drafted to what team?
He got drafted to Colorado Springs, I think. But I think he's going back to NC State for one more year, and then he's gonna go to Colorado.
Yeah, so for the people, more like the European people, explain us how that works. Like you get drafted, but you don't play with the team, and you go back to college soccer.
So basically, like whenever you do a great season in college soccer, there's a 90 or 100 players drafted at the end of the season. So every MLS team can pick like a few players. I don't know a lot. I don't know much. I don't know how many players they can take. Like they can pick a few players, and so let's take an example. Donovan Gusto, he got picked, I think, like on the third round. So like around from the 30th to the 60th player, and so he got picked by Colorado Springs. and he's gonna go there to do some trials, train with the team for a few weeks, few months, I don't know, and depending on like how young the player is, if he needs more experience in college soccer. I know Don Augusto was his second season in college soccer, so he has 2 more years of college soccer and he can gain more experience as well. So he's gonna go there, do some tryouts, train with the team. If the coaches of the MLS team decides, yeah, we need you for this year, you are staying with us, he is gonna stay with the MLS team, and maybe he can continue his studies online or something like that. And or the MLS coach can say, yeah, like you need more experience, you need to get more a little bit more physical. I'm gonna send you back to college for 1 year, 2 years maybe max.
So the player can develop
So
more.
so the player can develop and win more, I guess. And then he's gonna tell him, yeah, like come back after your college season, and you're gonna train with the team, and like I'm gonna see that you improved, and you're gonna be a part of the team now. So that's basically how it works. I don't know if I explained well, but usually it's like this. And so yeah, like I met, I think, 3 players. Like I played with 3 players that got drafted, and like I saw the difference. Obviously, like I saw that they were really really good, and that definitely like the chance to be part of a great MLS team and be a change in the MLS. But like they were humans, like I defended on Don Gusto. I blocked his shot. I I did whatever a defender does on a striker, and it was a kind of a competition between us.
It is a
And
high level, but something that you can reach.
exactly, it's reachable definitely. And so yeah, so that's how the draft kind of works, and how the MLS picked their players.
So now you just finished your senior season at the moment, and now you wanna enter like the fourth summer league that you're gonna play,
Mm.
and now you're going back to Kalamazoo FC again for this summer. Tell me,
Yeah.
what is the biggest goal that you kind of have from last year? You kind of redeemed yourself, want to make it to the conference, you want to win the nationals. What are your aspirations for this coming season?
A goal is definitely to win the conference. Like I'm going back to Kalamazoo because there was like the owner is really nice, and there was so many great players, and I guess I feel like I improved so much over there. And also like Western Michigan wants me to go back to Kalamazoo to get fit for the college season. So it's really nice to be gonna be around the Western Michigan and be around the coaches as well, so they can help me develop. But like definitely the goal is first to get fit, play games, and be ready for the college season. 2, win the conference, because last year we had the chance to win the conference and we didn't, and we finished third, like I think like a few points away from the first one, but we could have definitely. And so definitely a goal is to win the conference and win against Flint,
That's the
because
big.
last year we tied them at home, but they scored. I think we did like 2-2 or 3-3, and they scored 2 penalties. So it was definitely I don't want to say the word unlucky, but like they got 2 penalties, and which is unlucky from us. And at their place, I think we were losing 3-0. We came back 3-3, and we lost 4-3. So it was always a little struggle against Flint, and I want to win against them.
So now, after the season that you're gonna play over there, you're kind of entering your master year.
Yeah.
I wanna go a little bit more into the future. Where do you see yourself in 5 to 10 years? What kind of are the aspirations right now?
Okay, so when I first got to the US, I was like, I don't know if I want to live there. I don't know if I want to have a wife over there, because like I have all my friends and family back home. But the more I stay here and the more I visit places, the more I feel like I could at least work a few years here, like because the American industry and economy is pretty good, even though I don't want to talk political, but like it's getting a little bit in trouble right now. But definitely like the America system is really good to work and to make money, and like I feel like in America you have the chance, if you're a really hard worker, you can make a lot of money. And so I see myself working here for a few years at least, see if I find a wife or something like that. Let's see, you never know. But like I definitely see myself working a few years here and then maybe going back home. And but like I'm gonna do a master in data science, which is gonna be hard, and like which offers like a lot of job opportunities later. But my first option would be to stay in soccer. Like I'm gonna play that season in Western Michigan, which is a great school, and I wanna, if I can, obviously it's gonna be hard. Maybe get drafted, like play for USL Championship team, which is second division, which pays a lot as well. And like stay, like the first option is to stay around soccer and keep playing, but let's see. Like you never know what's gonna happen, but hopefully that's gonna be the case.
So the main goal is kind of to stay around the focus world. And now that you said that next year you're gonna be doing your master at super good Division One, like Western Michigan, I want to know on your thoughts of kind of for the people that the transfer, the people that wants to go to college, because they be like, yes, I want to go to college, but I don't have the right opportunity, or how can I showcase myself? Do you think, for example, how do you have to use your resources, like playing summer league, having your highlight video, or the use of an agency? How can that help you, for example, to get to your goals, and just in this case go all the way from NAA going through Division 2 and ending up on Division 1?
Okay, so whenever you get to the US, like going to the US and transferring in the United States is a different step, I feel like. But the hard decision is to come to the US, and then whenever you're here, you can transfer school, like if you feel confident. Like, so basically you need to, like, the highlight video is the main part, I would say. Like the main part is highlight video and statistics. So if you have a great highlight video, and like I suggest you to take an agency, because they know the coaches, they know how it works, and they're gonna help you like transfer and find great schools, because on your own it's pretty hard, I would say. So like you're gonna contact an agency, you're gonna pay them a little amount compared to the college tuitions, and they're gonna help you do everything. Like they're gonna help you like find the school, negotiate your scholarship, I don't know what else.
Being part of the process, supporting
you. They like, and if you have any question, you can ask them. That's the great thing about it, and they're gonna deal the stuff for you. You don't have to worry too much. Yeah, am I gonna find a school? There is always gonna be something. They're always gonna find something. And so that was great about me. Like, so I contacted the US Sport Agency because I know Qatar, and they helped me go through the process. And like, I didn't have any trouble, I would say. Like, there was a lot of schools interested in me, also because I had an okay highlight video and okay statistics, and people saw that I played like 2 seasons of summer league and 3 seasons of college. They were like, okay, yeah, like that guy stayed around, he's probably really good, like from what his video says, like he's gonna be a great player for our team. So like a lot of schools contacted me, and like I had a few great offers, and yeah, like the agency helped me so much, because I could like you guys were doing the work, and I was like still focusing on my development as a player and my academic side. Like, I didn't have to worry about too much, like what am I gonna do, like I still don't know where I'm going next year for my masters, stuff like that. Like, I know you guys had this, and I was confident in you guys dealing with that. So yeah, that was a great part of having an agency.
Definitely, as a player, I mean, you had everything that you need to be as a player, because you had the stats, you had the playing style, the pro background as well. But I think, for example, and in a lot of people's cases, you kind of just needed that showcase to people, that kind of connections, just to be shown, because you can be a great player, but if no one doesn't know about you, they're gonna give you a good scholarship or get you into a good team?
That's the hard part.
So now, kind of wrapping everything up, I want to end up with some quick fire questions. This is a little bit more different. I mean, you can take your time to answer them, but it's going to
Yeah.
be some simple questions.
Okay.
So I want to start with the first one. So you given, I know you like to travel.
Yeah.
So you're given a one-way ticket, right? Anywhere in the world.
Okay.
Where are you going and why?
One way, I don't know. Wait, to vacation?
Yes, vacation. First thing, right now they tell you tomorrow, Saturday, you can go to whatever place you want.
I would say Japan. Like I would like to visit. Like visiting, I would say Japan. Like for 2 weeks, stay there and get the culture. But like I wouldn't live there for sure. Like I wouldn't live there.
You wouldn't live there. Okay. So second question. If you could master one skill outside of football, like right now, instantly, what would it be?
Ooh, that's an interesting question. Probably play music.
What instrument would you play?
Guitar. Definitely guitar, yeah. Guitar or piano. Piano is pretty nice as well. But yeah, like definitely something into music because I like to listen to music and I would love to be able to play music.
Nice. Third question.
Or speak like a lot of languages. Like master some useful languages. That would be also a part of the deal.
Now you have to start with Japanese. You know, you
Oh,
go to Japan.
that's easy now.
Japan.
Easy now. Well, it's gonna be hard. I know the alphabets and I tried to learn it, but it's hard. And right now I'm focusing on Spanish. But let's see.
Okay. Let's say that you're gonna have dinner. You can have dinner with any 3 people in the world, and you know they can be dead, alive, or famous or not. That you and 3 people.
Wow.
Who would you choose to be those 3 people?
Ooh, that's a great question. Definitely one guy from soccer. I would say 2 guys from soccer and a random guy. That would be, like, I think I would love to talk to. I'm gonna choose French people. So Eric Cantona, Zinedine Zidane, and for the people who know, it's like all the humorists French and who also is in cinema. Louis de Funès.
Okay, that's an interesting question.
Yeah, it's only French people, so probably like you guys are not gonna know the last person, but a known French guy.
But at least they're gonna know the first 2. You know.
Yeah, they know the first 2
and
at least.
Eric Cantona. Perfect. If you will have to start a business tomorrow, what would it be?
Ooh, start a business. I'm not too much of a startup guy or whatever, but I would say I would stay around like the sports field. Like I like to watch a lot of tennis, so maybe like a brand of tennis rackets or something like that. Because my brother is also really into tennis, so maybe like we build a startup, us two, and like something around tennis, you know. Tennis or paddle. I like paddle as well.
You like paddle more than tennis, or?
I would stay still. I would like. I'd rather play tennis, but like on occasions I like to play paddle as well. And since it's 2v2, it's like more fun, and you can play with a lot of more people, because not everybody is great at tennis. So yeah, like something around like a racket sport. That would be nice.
So we're gonna finish with the last question, and I think I'm pretty curious and interested about your answer to this question.
Yeah.
So, if you could write a book about your journey so far, like all the experience that you had in life until now, what would be the title of that book?
The title of that book. Wow, that's a crazy question. Like, and thinking about it like for a few seconds is really hard. But
you can take your time, no
Yeah,
worries.
give me
We still have time. You can think about it. You definitely had a lot of journeys, places, and experiences. So
I would go for like a funny title, like if I find one right now. But like I don't want to stay classic. I don't want to say like the journey of Mathieu Beuvain or whatever. The journey of Frenchman. Nah, that's too easy, you know. But like the travel of life of a random guy. So like at the end of the day, I'm a random guy that just visiting places and trying to go through a lot of stuff, and I think that would be it. Like the random travel of a random guy.
Nice.
Something like that, you know.
Definitely was not expecting that answer. I mean,
Like-
it's a good answer, and I think it
I
fits you
need to
pretty
think-
well.
I need to think about it, but like that's the first thing that comes into my mind.
So for the next podcast that we're gonna make, we're gonna start with this question, and now you already thought about it for the next time. So
For sure. Yeah.
maybe you change the title, you know, since you have different
I'll try to
experience.
think about it.
But this was everything. I mean, thank you so much, Mathieu, for your time.
Thank you
thank you for being the first guest of the first episode Through the Player's Eye, presented by US Sports Agency. And thank you so much, Mathieu.
Thank you. Thank you for all the questions. It was really nice to talk to you.